Okay, so in the previous video we looked at getting our race car moving. So we've designed our race car here and we've got in the code that we need to make it move. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at designing a background, or in this case a racetrack. So we need to go to Stage, and then we need to go to Backgrounds, and then we need to go to Edit. Okay, so we're editing the first background. Now there could be a variety of different tracks that you could use. I'm going to go first of all to make a background. So I'm going to get the fill tool and I'm going to go for a grey background. Okay, so we've got a nice grey background, similar to perhaps what a racetrack might be like. Okay, now the colour of the actual racetrack, I might want to make it white, I might want to make it black, but today I'm going to make it a little bit more interesting, a bit more colourful, and we're going to make it, let's say, yellow. Okay. Now you can do whatever colour you want. Okay, it doesn't matter. You might want to do a green background with perhaps a brown track, as if you were doing like a mud track rally race or something like that. So anyway, so what you've got to do now is you've got to design your racetrack. Again, I'm only going to do this nice and quickly. Okay, but you guys could take a little bit more time. Okay. So I'm going to get the line tool to begin with. I'm going to drag a line across the middle here. Okay. I'm going to drag one across the top here. You could just free draw this, but I think actually if you use a mixture of the straight lines and then the curved lines, it does make it a little bit easier and it makes it a little bit more accurate. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm just doing the corners in so the shape is a little bit more realistic. Again, I'm just doing this very quickly. You guys can take a little bit more time on it if you want. Okay, so let's get another straight line. Put these two together. This is a very basic track design that I'm going to do now. And again, you might want to do a more complex one than what I've done here. So here we go, just drawing some lines in. And this one will go here. And in a minute I'm going to fill this track in so it's all one colour. Okay. Or we could leave it like that, perhaps we'll leave it like that. Okay, so here's our track. Okay, you might want to put a start line in. Okay, so we could get a thicker brush size here. Let's go for this one, and then we could go white, and we could put a little start line in here. And we could add a lot more detail. Okay, so you might want to add some arrows on the road. You might want to make your track more complicated. But for now, I'm just doing this very basic sort of rectangular track. Okay, so that's my design. Again, I don't think I need to say too much more on that because I think you guys can probably come up with some interesting designs yourself. So use the lines, okay? Use the drawing tool here and go wild. I would say try a basic track to begin with, get your code correct, and then try something a little bit more complex. Okay, so once we've pressed OK now, we've got our track. We move our car up here. Now I would probably say that the car is probably a little bit too big for the track, so if we shrink our sprite again, get them down to the right size, okay. And if we now go press green and twist our guy, we have a racetrack to go around, which is great, which is good fun. But at the moment, there's nothing to stop us going across the track, going into the sides, going around the wrong way. So really, I think we need to put a little bit more code in before we think we've finished this game to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, and that's what we're going to have done on the next video.